Hello, I'm Mantastic and Fantastic, and today I'm going to be talking about the Heroine return that is coming to Japan. So the Heroine raring machine is akin to the Dragonbound Dragon Caller. That is a 10-stone event that is kind of gung-ho exclusive cards, so there's no licensing issues, and we've had Heroine in the past, and we should be acquiring them again in the future. So North American server tends to be 2 to 3 months behind, so Japan is having these rolling out very soon, so it's not unexpected to have these arrive in North America come February time frame. With that being said, I just want to give players a bit of a heads up as to what they can expect, because we have come into sort of a large windfall of magic stones for the new 100 that was given out. We're going to have 52 possibly for the special quests, as well as various logins, so on and so forth. So if you have never rolled in Heroine before, it is still a reasonable event, mostly because it has Sheena and Mel, and those two 5-stars are incredibly valuable. The only major drawback is that Dragonbound Dragon Caller tends to be a superior event for the most part, because they have more important 5-stars overall, and in terms of their top rarity cards, similar amounts, but the 6-star Heroine cards are less amazing compared to Dragonbound Dragon Caller. So if you had Dragonbound Dragon Caller just passed. So let's just say in a hypothetical world, if both were running simultaneously and you were a brand new player and you only had a few rolls, I would roll in Dragonbound Dragon Caller. With that being said, if you've never rolled in Heroine before, it still might be worthwhile, especially if you're using something like Beach Barber and Julie Reune, something that's big and like water and tanky that can benefit from Mel, or if you like to use Sheena for the fast bicolor board changer, which is good for ranking dungeons. And Sheena also has VDP, Killers, 7 combo, so she's quite actually a strong sub in her own right at the same time. So those are two kind of the big top prizes from Heroine at the bottom rarity. Of course, at the top we have Ilmina, we also have Ruika, and we also have Planar. Planar is an incredible Dark Metatron sub for follow-up attack, arguably the best one for her. And Ilmina is basically, if you have her, you're going to have a much higher chance of acquiring a crown on non-fixed ranking dungeons, because Ilmina is almost always used in every setup, and if you have an Ilmina, you have more flexibility because you can pair with more ideal leaders, so on and so forth. So it is still a reasonably strong event, but if you already have Mel, if you already have Sheena, there's not much real motivation to roll, because then you'd be chasing for the 7-stars, which can be acquired through Monster Exchange, but they are going to have the same terribly high requirements as Dragonbound Dragon Caller, so they'll be out of range for the average player. Now, I've talked quite a bit, and I want to now kind of just examine and discuss the new cards and buffs that are coming. So there are going to be no new 5-stars, so the bottom rarity has been unchanged, but we're going to be gaining a new 6-star card in Oria. So Oria is featured on the right-hand side over there, just the artwork, so you can see the Awakening. She's got full bind immunity, 2 skill charges, skill boost, skill bind resist, and double devil killer. Her active skill is very much like Reach. It's almost like they're reskinning their Witch's 7-star Godfest exclusives. So active skill is change hearts to fire, and then for 1 turn, cancel out damage absorb and attribute absorb. So it's basically like a Fujin style active skill and a color absorb at the same time with orb changer. So that's basically like Reach. Very similar idea, except instead of a board changer, you're getting hearts to fire. What's better for you? It all depends on your team, but I'm leaning a bit more heavily towards Reach, because at least you still have hard orbs present. Now, they have a 25-turn cooldown, but that's what their double skill charge is for, to help charge it up faster. So when you use them as a sub or a leader, you can charge them up much more quickly, and you can use their active skill on a very quick cooldown, because Reach is 30 turns, this is 25. This will charge up a little bit, potentially 2 turns faster because of all the haste. So it can be meaningful, especially if you don't have any type of card like this. But the problem is, Reach is a much stronger leader overall. Oria's leader skill is reduce damage taken and 3 times attack when attacking with 6 combos. You can always attack with 6 combos from a given board, so yay, damage reduction. But then you have 4 times attack when attacking with 4 colors, and time extend +2. So basically the exact same as Reach, except your multiplier is lower. Reach is 16 times total, 4 and 4. This is 3 and 4, so only 12 times. So your damage has been decreased, but the biggest issue I feel is that it's 2 devil killers, not double 7 combo. Double 7 combo was unconditionally 4 times damage. Double devil is only 9 times damage against devil spawns. So Reach is much more well-rounded for dealing with every type of encounter. They have higher leader skill damage output overall, and it's just kind of a little bit of drawback. But again, this is a different rarity card. It should be easier to acquire than Reach for the most part. So it is a nice card, but I feel like it would have diminishing returns overall, especially if you own, say, Fujins or Reach already. I'm just going to transition my screen here. So the next card is, I can't say their name. That's all right. So it's another 7-star form, so the top rarity, so basically same as Ilmanut, Ruika, and Planar, and they have a split form, so you can choose which evolution path you want to pursue, basically depending on what you feel is most important. So their Awakenings is the Devil Attacker. Yes, it is. They have full bind immunity, which is pretty standard. They have skill bind resist, super skill boost. Super skill boost is, I'm making this bigger maybe. Super skill boost is 2 skill boosts, super time extend, which is 2 time extends, and then 2 rows, and then 2 plus combo count awakenings. So that plus combo count awakening means you have to match exactly 12 connected orbs, and in her case, it's only water. And then you have, and these plus combo orbs fall down. We've seen this with Reunite, we've seen this with Sylvie. It's a pretty awkward awakening in my opinion, because it has to be exactly 12. Any more, any less, you don't get the bonus. And you only can actually have 3 on the board at any given time. So in theory, if you're using 2 leaders, you potentially only have 3. You'd still match, you would technically get 4, but because there's a cap on it, you only can have 3 on the board at once. So that's kind of a bit of a sad part in that regards. But in terms of her abilities, like, she is interesting. Her active skill is for 1 turn plus 1 combo, which is not bad, not terrible, but the idea is it comes with this great board changer. Unlock all orbs and then change the board to water and hearts. So, in my opinion, assuming a team does not rely on certain colors, bicolored board changes with hard orbs tend to be the strongest because you can heal, follow-up attack, and deal damage at the same time. So we've seen this with like Yogg and Ladua in the sense that they have these bicolored boards of hearts, but they come with different secondary effects. They don't have the orb unlock and they don't have the +1 combo count, so this is different. This can be powerful. For your, say like Reunite teams, this is definitely going to be a very powerful active skill to have on your team. But then this is where their leader skill gets problematic, unfortunately. Their leader skill is you connect 6 or more orbs other than water, so everything else like poison, jammer, fire, light, heal, etc. Connect 6 or more of those, blobbing them together, and you get 5 times damage. So you should always have this 5 times damage. But then if you connect 5 or more water orbs, reduce damage taken, then 4 times attack. I've realized that this image is kind of blocking the text, but it's 20 times, so 400 times attack potentially when you fulfill both requirements. You're going to have a terrible combo count overall, unfortunately, just because you're blobbing so many different things. So this is going to be challenging to play. Having 5 water orbs present at all times for damage reduction is not a reliable thing. It's going to be a little difficult to do for the most part. So I can foresee this being a challenging leader to use, but I'm almost thinking, is it possible to even have 7x6 pairings? Just because with 7x6 pairings, you're more likely to have your water orbs. You are easily going to be able to blob and possibly have combo count at the same time. And I'm just trying to think if there's any 7x6 leader that can work that does not have to rely on hitting huge amount of combos. That's not color restricted at the same time. I'm just thinking kind of on the top of my head. I can't think of anything at this point in time, but maybe something could be worked around because there is 20 times damage potentially when you fulfill both requirements, which is going to be much easier on 7x6. So 20 times paired to virtually anything is going to be huge amounts of damage. So it might be quite doable for the most part. So maybe it's something to think about if we can think of something together in the comment section of what it could be a 7x6 pairing maybe. And then the next is her other split form, which I'm going to pull up right now on the screen here. And this form is Devil Physical. They have the exact same active skill as before, so these split forms tend to have the same active skills. She gains a water sub-attribute, so again, like it doesn't change many things for the plus combo count, which she doesn't have. But her awakenings are full bind immunity, skill bind resist, super skill boost, 2 super time extends. That's 2 seconds of movement time or 4 time extend awakenings, team health, and follow-up attack. So no actual personal damage. And her leader skill is no skyfalls. For each water cross, 3 times damage, and then leaving less than or equal to 6 orbs on the board is 10 times. So even if you just puzzle and ignore the whole idea you have to color cross, you are receiving 100 times damage with no skyfalls. In theory, that's a fast lead swap. That's a fast swipe farming team as well. It's kind of like Kaede's sort of idea. You kind of swipe a full board, you get a high amount of damage, just no damage reduction at the same time. There is no damage reduction built into this leader skill. You just have a bonkersly high damage potential because with 2 water crosses, which is the most you can get, I believe, from a 6x5 board of the same color, you would have 9 times 10. That's 90 times damage. 90 times 90 is 8,100 times attack. Everything's going to die a spectacular death when you're able to hit that. But the thing is, Amun is in theory a lot easier. You don't have to get 2 water crosses. That's not 10 combo. That's not 10 water orbs, and that's also not going to have awkwardness of having crosses and having to leave orbs at the same time. So it's cool and all, but I honestly feel like Amun is just going to be a much stronger option overall. So I'm just trying to think of where can we actually use this new 7-star card for like practical usages. Like, yes, it's a cool card, yes, it's pretty, but can we actually find usage for it? Because like Ilmina we know is for ranking dungeons, Planner's Dark Metatron. Ruika is a pretty powerful Fusion style active skill on water or dark based teams as well at the same time. So I'm just honestly thinking, where can we really capitalize upon this as a leader? Nothing's really screaming out to me, because the fact that this form here is a super glass cannon, but it's a super glass cannon with less consistency. Like 1 water cross might be doable on a given board, and then you'd have 30, that's 900 times damage. But again, 900 times damage is not as incredible as it could be. Amun is just going to be better for the most part. And then next are the buffs. So later on today, apparently in Japan, there's going to be Erica gaining Limit Break, and then she gains Super Awakenings of Attacker, Healer, Killer, or Fall of Attack. Erica already has double 7 combo, Healer, and Attacker Killer, so she's incredibly powerful. She's kind of similar to Pralinate, but except she has 7 combos instead of extra killers, so pretty powerful card overall. But the fact that she can gain a Fall of Attack means she's going to open up lots of doors. You'd have a double 7 combo card with Fall of Attack, with Healer, and Attacker Killer Awakenings, along with a board changer that produces hard orbs, a tri-elemental board changer. So she can be definitely quite powerful. Like, she's definitely going to become stronger. A pretty useful 6-star card overall. Can definitely use on Edward based teams if you don't have like Cottons or Amatsus for Fall of Attack. It's opening up new potential there. And then Runeless was just kind of a sad card overall. Like, it just wasn't used that much in all honesty. Like, it's a little stronger, but I wouldn't necessarily prioritize using them over other cards available. And then there's going to be the same similar idea of 2 stones plus roll deal. We're going to have something similar to along with that. There's going to be trading posts with tokens. So there's going to be a Setsuki Chronomagia version. Basically, it's very similar to the 5-star Godfest exclusive form. Actually, I could open it up here. There we go. I have the image there. So it looks pretty. You got lots of time to think of the plus combo count awakening, but dark-based teams for Rose, Ladra is the only one I can really think for blobbing, and Vero. So I don't see Setsuki being used that much in all honesty. Their leader skill is Dragon Physical 3.5 times attack, RCV 1.5. Connecting 6 or more dark orbs is 3 times, so it's an okay leader. I don't think it's going to be game-changing, unfortunately. Remember, this is a card we can acquire by farming for these tokens, so nothing super spectacular we can hope for, but I would definitely acquire one regardless because it's a limited time thing. Like I already mentioned, there will be trading post options for the 4 7-star cards, which are going to be too rare and hard to do for the average player. And then there will be a Setsuki 1 time, Super Null Dragon 1 time, cool. Trigon Mask, debatable if you need that. Diamond Dragon Fruit, again, debatable if you actually need that. And other useless shit. Thank you, that was very helpful. So there will be Skill Up Dungeon and just the Nightmare Street for tokens. So it is a revival of the Heroine machine, but in all honesty, it feels a little more lackluster. Like, it's nothing that special. Like, I still feel that the first release of Heroine was the most exciting. I guess when Planner came out, it helps for Dark Metatron now. But this one here, it's kind of like watering it down. Churn, I feel like, is not going to be used as much, generally speaking, compared to other 7-stars. And then Oria is nice and all, but it's not game-changing overall. So if you don't have Melons, Sheena, it might be worth considering saving stones for here, but if you already have them, it'll be probably a skip for you, possibly overall. Let me know what you think about this event in the comments below. Do you think this is kind of going to make Heroine much more exciting, or is it just going to make it so it's like, hey, cool, free roll and tokens and ignore? Hopefully you'll have a fantastic day. I wish you all the best luck in your own pad adventures, and happy puzzling.